Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a pod test today. Today I have chili that I picked a seedling up of over here in Japan. I picked this up from a home center. It was labeled as a Vietnamese red. Having a look at the description and other sites listing it, yeah, Vietnamese red or a Hanoi red. It was a really cool plant to grow. It grew very, very bushy. Tiny little, almost like a privet bush shaped leaves on it. Very dark green and just absolutely covered in hundreds of these bullet shaped red pods. Which I was really surprised. It was listed on the label as chillies, which means kind of medium heat. And so the first time I tried one of these, and I thought, it's not going to be that hot. You know, if it's labeled as medium hot in Japanese, then it's not that hot. I bit into it, and it blew me away. Really, really hot for something this size. Very similar in aroma, and as well as heat profile, very similar to kind of bird's eye Thai chilies. Really cool looking plants. You can't argue with having that much heat in something that small. It makes them very easy to cook with, very easy to dose. The heat that you get inside this small thing is very fiery, so it makes it very easy. If you want to make something that's quite hot, you use a couple of these. If you want to make something mild, you use one of them and let them spread throughout the dish. So they're a capsicum annuum variety as well. Like I said, very prolific on the plant, cool looking plants, tiny leaves, very bushy. I really enjoyed growing these, and I'm probably going to save seeds for them and grow them again next year, just because I've used them a lot in stir fries, or if I'm making some soup that I want to add some heat to. The summer in Japan is a bit too hot for me to be making soup, but these do dry really well. So I've got a bunch of these tiny bullet shaped pods that are drying out. They dry very well. They dry on their own. I don't need to put them in the sun or in a dehydrator. They're drying perfectly well, just left on a plate in the kitchen actually. So those are going to get stuck in some soup this winter when it's not so disgustingly hot that I can't drink soup. But anyway, let's have a look at one that I cut open earlier. I mean, the camera's not going to pick up on this that well, but this is probably one of the oiliest looking capsicum annuums that I've ever cut open. You can see on that bottom edge of there, it's got that kind of orangey waxy look, which there's a lot of oil in it, which I only really see in super hots, ultra hots, where it gets oil pooling in it. So these are pretty hot for their size. Plenty of seeds to go along with it. Not fond of chewing on seeds myself, but yeah, they are what they are. At least if you grow these and you want to grow them again, it's not difficult getting a decent seed harvest off of them. And let's see, the aroma is quite sharp. It smells quite acidic, quite tannic, almost slightly oaky actually. I know from eating them before that they don't taste particularly oaky, but if this was a blind tasting, I'd say I'm picking up oak. It smells sharp. It smells slightly vegetal. I do have the stalk still on there, so that might be interfering with that. But it does smell vegetal, oaky, spicy, quite sharp. If you were to guess the pH or something by smelling it, you'd say it's slightly acidic in the smell. there's something quite soft and floral as well in the aroma, almost like a kind of candy sweetness, kind of a fruity candy floral perfume in there as well, which I know from eating them doesn't taste the same, but that's what I smell. Anyway, I am gonna bite into one of these. I'm gonna pull the seed cap off there, and so yeah, this is the Vietnamese red. Cheers. Very juicy. There's a lot of seeds in there, but they're not overwhelmingly hard. It is very bitter up front though. There's a lot of heat for an anum. They're very juicy, they're very bitter up front. I found in culinary use they're very similar to a bird's eye, but they're a lot more bitter. Bitter and more acidic. You're getting quite that first few bites, and especially swallowing it is quite difficult because you got something that's very bitter and very sharp. Almost the mouthfeel of it straight up reminds me of coffee that's been made too strong, where you got bitterness, astringency, and quite a bit of acidity all going on at the same time. The burn on it is very fierce for a chili this size. I know when I first tried it, I said it's probably one of the most aggressive anums that I've ever tried. Here, 2 months down the line, when I'm actually getting around to doing a video of it, I really haven't changed my mind that much on that. It's very aggressive, stabby, very stabbing pain, which tends to focus across the edge of your tongue, top of your tongue, and the tip of your tongue. As of yet, it's leaving my lips alone, but I feel like it's going to migrate there soon. Aroma up front is it's quite fruity, vegetal, and floral at the same time. It's a bit less floral than bird's eye chilies, but they have about the same they have the same thing going on, apart from this is not quite as perfumed. What it lacks in perfume, it makes up for in bitterness. It is quite a bitter chili. I'm not going to sugarcoat that because there's no point. It's very bitter. So it needs to be used in a dish properly. These can't be sliced up and put into something. These really need to be stir-fried or put into soup. The pain right now, it's really digging into one of the tonsils on this side of my mouth right now. And it just feels like a soldering iron being stuck into my throat there, which is also heating up my ear canal, and it's giving me some considerable discomfort in my ear. Aroma on it has died down into a kind of it's still quite vegetal, almost hint of celery in there. The vegetal side of celery, not the aromatic kind of pear-like qualities that celery can have. It's very much in the vegetal side of it, quite musky. The floralness is all petered off now, and you're left with quite a bitter mouthfeel and a very nagging pain in my tonsil, which is also a nagging pain in my ear. But that being said, as though it doesn't sound very attractive idea to eat them fresh, and I'd agree. It's not. These are fantastic in soup. If you're making kind of a Thai style soup, or just trying to spice soup up a little bit, these are fantastic chili for it, because the heat spreads through quite evenly. You've got a tiny little bit of bitterness, which goes well, I find, generally with a little bit of saltiness, which you're going to expect from soup. So they kind of equal each other out. You're not getting huge amounts of aroma that are really going to disrupt other aromatics that you have going on in a soup. I've really enjoyed making soup with these because they give a really good kick to it. Like I say, the bitterness mellows out quite a bit. They're not dominating. They dry very well. So yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to making a lot of different stews or dishes using these this winter, as well as the fact that plant I've got, it must have put out a few, maybe 200 over the whole season, maybe 200 pods this size. Dry them, and I mean, I've had them in a very small pot compared to most of what my grow is in. I put them in a pot that was only maybe 2 gallons, and most of my other pots are between 6 and 8 gallons soil. So my plant that I have grown has got very big, been a great producer, and it would be even better if it was in ground or if it was in a bigger pot. So basically growing these has been a really good earner. I'd say if you're looking to dry chilies, this has been fantastic. Heat is dying off now. Still left with a very green vegetal kind of flavour on the palate. Bitterness is almost all gone, but there's still a huge amount of heat. The heat shifted from the side of my tongue more to the back of my tongue and my throat, which is quite unique for an annum. I think that's about all I can say about this in this video, but it was a fantastic variety. I'm almost definitely going to grow these again next year, put them in a small pot, have them just put out a ton of these that I can preserve and use during the winter when I want to spice something up. So yeah, that was the Vietnamese red. Cheers.